Y'all, what's up, y'all? How everybody doing? Shout out to everybody in the chat with their thumbs jack. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you want some real authentic tea, we ain't got no like conspiracy theories and all this. I know a lot of people, they conspiracy theories, ain't nothing wrong with being conspiracy theorists unless you been programmed to believe conspiracy theories. We truth seekers over here, and we tell the truth and we show authentic receipts that people can't take back. Before I get started, I gotta start it out with a disclaimer. Disclaimer, fair use act, education purpose use only. All rights, image, and music clip belong to their perspective only, and we do not claim ownership. I just wanna, before I get into the team, let's do a briefing when it comes to the Kenneka Jenkins case. Everybody wanna know what happened. The news said she was roaming the halls for an hour. Man, this a cover up. Man, I just don't know the truth because the news said this. Then when I go do watch the videos and saying this and I go on to these social media sites and everybody got different narratives about the case, but it's all wrapped in the conspiracy. Not with Trey Gang. Not with Trey Gang. From now on, I'm finna slice up the game with these receipts. So watch this. This is how I'm finna do it. Right? Okay. If you watch this video right here and look at the timestamp, knock 2 hours off, there will be 12:29, right? Who in the lobby? Him. Why would he will be in the lobby? Once you think about the Kenneka Jenkins case, the first thing when they started off, when Miss Teresa started off, guess what time she say? Check this out. Watch this. Watch this.
Kenneka Jenkins. She went missing during a hotel party for approximately 21 hours. You heard right, 21 hours. Until she was found dead in the hotel's walk-in freezer. Kenneka and her sister Lenore are here. They're opening up exclusively about the day that changed their lives forever. I can only imagine how difficult this is for you. I'm going to shrivel you and everybody an image of your daughter. Okay. It's the last image we have from before she went to that hotel that evening. Beautiful young woman. Very difficult to imagine.
And let me might add this so we can get a clearer visual of what we about to witness her. Y'all know in the autopsy report, they said Kenneka was drugged. Then you got Irene video. Don't see Kenneka, but we hear her. All right. Then they got a video that's showing Kenneka actually taking a drink from a cup with brown substance in it, meaning Hennessy, what they say Hennessy. All right. And they said Kenneka come out the room where she had to be carried out the room and left in the hallway. All right. From what my understanding is, if Kenneka showed up in the lobby, y'all ready to body blow some shit? When he come to the lobby at 1:20, even though Andrew Holmes said, yeah, that 3:20 she was seen on surveillance footage. Stop it right there. They got that right. She seen on surveillance footage. Round about this time. So when you look at the timestamp on this footage, think about Miss Teresa narrative. I last saw her leaving the house at 11:30 with my car. And she supposed to been going to a gathering. With who? A gathering? Cause she supposed to celebrate a new job. And she finna go to the movies with her real best friend, Azaria. So now look, if you look at this, we know what time this is. So that means Kenneka actually went to the movies. She actually went to the movie. While Gang Gang now got a hotel in the Crown Plaza room. I mean, a room at the Crown Plaza and the Doubletree. Now check this out. This one I'm finna get at. While you watching this footage, Miss Teresa gave us a narrative. I last saw my daughter 11:30 leaving out the house with my car, supposed to be going to the movies to celebrate her new job, right? So that means, you know, Kenneka gonna be with her best friend, Zaria, not Monifa. So Zaria go live and say, hey, you know, we supposed to been going to the movie. Now they go back to Miss Teresa's statement. Now you finna see all this shit on the video and be like, oh, Miss Teresa, you can't even take that back. You double down on your narrative. You say what? I last saw her at 11:30 and I ain't get the call till 4:30 or 4:24. Right? You cannot take this back. You got cameras interviewing you, and you stuck with that narrative. Boom. Now y'all see how Friends Cave on the move? It's finna make a lot of sense when you be like, damn, this at 12:32. Cause at 12 something on Kenneka phone, man, y'all. This at 12 something on Kenneka phone. Let me be a thought in peace and stop trying to kill me. Right? That's at 12 something. So when you match the time step up the footage and be like, okay, I see why Friends K would be running at this time. So they knew it was going down at 12 something in this hotel. Don't know who it was, but we know this at 12:32. But if you change the timestamp and want to trick the public and be like, look, this at 2:32, they're gonna collaborate with the lie of Liranora was like, well, we last saw her at 2 something, and then you got security on the move. It ain't gonna be looking good on Friends Cave and employees, right? At this time, right? This how they tricking the public. Bro, this is set up so cold. Cause check this out. When you go to 54 Keys to Balls, hold on, y'all. I got some new pits over here. You know what I'm saying? They getting used to me. Well, they already love me, but I ain't had them no more than 2 months. I was gonna put a camera on their cage and stuff. And while I go live, you can see a live feed of what they be actually doing. Cause I got 2 girls over here and they dangerous. I got 2 girls over here and I named them out my ex. I had an ex named Sugar Baby and I had an ex named Tinker Bell. So that were their names, you know what I'm talking about? Tinker Bell, Jack, and Sugar Baby, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. The relationship still carrying on and carrying on. So if you want to know why I put that picture together, be like, damn, it sound like some Minaj going on. Yeah, it really was. You know what I mean? I missed it. You know, I kind of fucked up, young and dumb, and like, damn it, I had some golden girls on the team. You know what I mean? But nothing, you know what I mean? But look, y'all, like what I was getting back into. Look, if you see the conspiracy theory, right? Check this out. Miss Teresa said, I last saw my daughter 11. Go back to the phone records. When you go back to the phone record, look who Kenneka gonna be with and meeting up with. Not Monifa, but the best friend. Who y'all believe if Kenneka sent a text out and say, yeah, girl, I got the job. I got the job. She didn't send it to Monifa. She sent it to Azaria, the best friend. So when you read the text message again, when it comes to the Kenneka Jenkins case instead of Monifa, now you'll see why I was like, yeah, girl, you want to go to the movies tonight? Well, yeah, how we getting there? Yeah, come get me. I pay the cab fare, all that. All that, right? That's the best friend, Zaria. Boom. Yeah, I'm happy for you. You know, it's like, come pick me up. I'm over here at this location. Come scoop me up. So the whole time, me gave you a route of Kenneka with the best friend, right? So they talking about the movies. They went to the movies. That's why you got TY live video of showing him at the movies. All right. Think about that part, right? Zaria went live and had to explain this shit. Like, only thing Zaria said, she wasn't the best friend. If you was the best friend the whole time, why you went live in the beginning, never mentioned you was the best friend, but you told everybody she supposed to been with me that night. I don't know how she ended up with you hoes. You see what I'm saying? But you never said you was the best friend, so you had to hide that part because of the video gonna show you playing your best friend on the footage. And this going down at one song. Make that clear. That's gonna be at one song. So when you go back to Dr. Oz video, when Miss Teresa doubled down on this narrative, she doubled down on this narrative and said this. Watch how her narrative finna cooperate with the best friend of Zaria. Check this out, y'all.
How do you even cope with this
Check
tragedy?
this out.
I've been holding it together.
Well, I haven't.
You haven't.
I haven't.
No, you're the big sister.
Yes.
There's all this gossip out there. Whenever there's a public event, that's what happens. What do you want people to know about
You see the slick word that he threw out there? Yeah, he was a public what?
who you're there? Whenever there's a public event, that's what happens.
It's a public event and things happen. Keep going.
What do you want people to know about who your sister really was?
She was a great person. She was my backbone. She was my best friend. She was the reason why I had so much strength that I had from her and my mom.
So can I ask you about
They love Zaria more than they love Kenneka. When we heard that narrative about the best friend, a jealous friend. The best friend was so jealous of Kenneka because she cuter than she is. Because we were thinking Monifa. So if you look at Monifa is the ugly duckling, right? Because everybody know, you know, and then it be look like a Daffy the duck, you know. But that's why they gave us the Monifa theory. Monifa was like, look, I'm going to say I'm the best friend to keep Zaria out of it. And then when you put the timestamp together, this who she going to be with her friends. So if Kenneka going to be with her friend, look what the footage finna show you before Kenneka even arriving at the Crown Plaza Hotel. So that means she going to be with the best friend. So to make a long story short, they could, look, check this out. You could drug Kenneka if you really wanted to. You could drug Kenneka because she don't pop pills. She don't drink no more. So that video that she actually was taking a drink, I don't think there was no drugs in it. Cause on the footage, they claim she supposed to be drugged round about between the hours of 1 and 2 o'clock. She in the lobby between the hours of 1 and walking straight. Coherent, no drug. So that means they falsified the autopsy report and said she had drugs in her system. Reason why they say she had drugs in her system, because if you got liver, you see that look on your face, because you got a video, like what you said, I got all the videos. It show Kenneka, know what I'm saying, this and that. But you got a video of her showing the act of her sipping some kind of liquid. We can't even say that's Hennessy. You can say that's a Red Bull. It could be anything. It couldn't have been no drugs in it. But since the video surfaced and everybody gonna speculate, oh, she was drugged and set up at the party, so they're gonna falsify the paperwork of the best friend walking, getting off on the elevator, bumping in the wall, so they can say she was drug intoxicated, which they would like her. Kenneka was never drug intoxicated. Cause you clearly see her on the lobby. Leonora double down on this stuff. She double down on this stuff. They stick, look, just say they sticking to a lie. This the narrative, and this one I'm sticking with. And that's the worst decision they could have ever made. Because they were forced to say, look, check this out. If you see French K, boom. You will be going down at 12:37. Keep this in mind. You said Howard saw her, Leonora, and then Miss Teresa said, yeah, she last left the house at 11:30. And now you go back to the phone records. Guess who she gonna be with? The best friend. The best friend. Right, gang? So don't this make sense? When you put these together. Watch this.
About that day?
Yes.
When did you guys first find out that Kenneka was missing?
Okay, I was laying in the bed. I get a call at 4:34, which would be September 9th.
So in the morning?
In the morning.
So you're automatically a little concerned because
See that how she started off? You wanna know why Miss Teresa, when you ask Miss Teresa, give me a relive that moment or what happened to Kenneka. When you last, well, I was laying in the bed having surgery and I got the call at 4:34. If you knock 2 hours off Miss Teresa narrative when she said she got the call at 4:34, think about 2:34. 2:34. Won't that will match up with Irene said? I last saw her at 2 some. Miss Teresa get the call at 2 some. Oh, security get a notification. Kenneka missing at 2 some. So that means boom. Y'all see how they were tricking the public? Once you did research and do this shit, watch this. Check this out.
you get
Look,
a call
look,
at 4 in
look.
the morning. Most parents are. So
Yes.
I don't like getting calls at 4 in the morning.
Yes.
And what did you hear when you opened the phone?
And it was from my daughter's friend. And she said, Ma, we can't find Kenneka. I said, you can't.
The best friend, Azaria. Look how this would sound. This only thing I want y'all to focus on. The timestamp on the footage with Miss Teresa telling you she got the call at 4:34. Her friend called. She should have said the best friend called. Oh yeah, now we can't find Kenneka. Won't it make sense that if you got If you got Azaria playing Kenneka in the hallway while the real Kenneka was led in the parking lot and get beaten up and made it to the pool and they covered up the pool and put her in the freezer, won't you think when she got the call, it would come from the best friend Azaria and not Monifa? That's just like, yeah, we got it on video now. I played her in the role, then boom. Yeah, Kenneka dead now. So look, I'ma call you. Boom, call you. Hello? Yes. Hey, mother. What's going on? I can't find Kenneka. Wait a minute. I'm on drugs too and a discombobulated, so I had to rejuvenate. Don't that sound like a pattern there? Is this exposing to his fineness? Because you got to listen to the narrative now. This how you finna expose this. This will be at 12. Going on 1 o'clock. Man, y'all, Kenneka supposed to left the house, so the Kenneka gonna be with her best friend. Earlier that evening, right? Earlier that evening, you got the phone trace. All right, she with the best friend. The best friend went live. Yes, we supposed to go to, I don't know how she end up with you, hoe, but them hoes who she ended up with is your people that you hang with. Them the people that you hung with, Miss Teresa hung with, all these kids hanging, and Kenneka went down with that shit. So she's gonna be with the best friend. That's why they got a video of Kenneka at a restaurant. Sound like a celebration with a gathering to me when it comes to the 911 call, right? So look at it like this here. Kenneka gonna be with the best friend. Coming from the movie theater, cause keep this in mind, Kenneka finna show up in the lobby in about 30 minutes. And this gonna be at what time? Going on 1. So they want you to believe that Kenneka showed up at the hotel around 1. Oh, I remember that narrative, cause the news said it. They showed Kenneka showing up at 1 o'clock. So when they show you at 1 o'clock, right? Look what they gave you at 1 o'clock. Watch this. Ooh. Look what they showed you at 1 o'clock. Booyah! This at 1 o'clock? You know what this was show? 2 hours off? 11 o'clock. They came from the movies. Well, they would be coming from the movies. Boom, boom, boom. You got Kenneka. So they was like, well, look. We can't, hold up. What? You last saw your daughter, what, Miss Teresa? 11:30. Look who she already with. So that means at some point that we're the best friend at. Where the best friend at? Look who out the pictures. Cause you could believe this at 1. Cause they knock 2 hours up and say, yeah, just show this at 11:14. That's why you never saw Kenneka in the lobby. But if you watch this video, look when Kenneka actually showed up. Hold up. Let's go back to one psalm.
In that lobby. Pay attention.
Hi y'all. The real Kenneka popped up. So you could trick the public, be like, give them this video and show them, yeah, Kenneka got there at this time. But not this time. So when Miss Teresa double down on that shit, watch how this shit finna hit different now. Watch this.
Kenneka, I say, wait, please don't leave my baby.
So, say one more time. I want to be clear on this. Sorry. So, you get called at 4 in the morning. What's going on at the hotel? These girls are looking for their friend, right?
Yeah. And they said the hotel wouldn't give him no help. And as they walked around looking for my sister, they said...
Remind y'all, they said this supposed to be at 2 something in the morning. Look who spoke up, Leonora. They didn't ask her that. They asked the mother that, but she interrupted and answered that question. So when Franz K said, look, 2 something. Guess what they were actually doing at 2 something if you got Kenneka in the lobby at 1 something getting beat, led to the pool, and look what showed on the footage. Who is this guy? That's crazy. Look, that's crazy. Watch this shit.
The hotel told them if they don't leave, they would call the police on them.
That's why.
They're trying to find a missing person, and they're being chased off the premises?
Yes.
Chased off the premises. Guess what time? Who y'all saw running on the footage in the parking lot? Running. Did y'all see Bree Bree? Did y'all see Bree Bree? Shamaya, Monifa run from the parking lot? Why you think now this shit hit different? He was like, they were being chased because that's what the footage showed. Shit. Look at these slick questions. Watch this.
And I went to the hotel myself. And when I went...
Oh, and she said she went to the hotel herself, so they explain why Miss Teresa was at the hotel. Then it, out her own words, then she said that's when she went to the hotel. She didn't tell y'all where she came from. She could have came from the Doubletree and went to that hotel. Cause look how quick the response was. You get a call and you already down, and you working with the best friend. Yeah, proof. Proof. You went to the hotel, Miss Teresa. What you would be doing at the hotel at Tucson?
Went up to the hotel. I had my daughter's picture in my phone. And I went to the front desk and I asked the manager there. I said, my friends woke me up and told me that my daughter, they lost her in this hotel. I said, kids, someone please look at the security cameras to see if they see my daughter. And she told me no. She stated to me that was police matters.
They couldn't have looked themselves at the cameras?
I asked them, could they look themselves? The hotel itself, Crown Plaza. And she stated to me no.
So when the hotel said they wouldn't look at the surveillance footage and you couldn't find your daughter anywhere in the hotel, you do what any mom would do. You call 911. So if it's okay, everybody, I want you all to hear this 911 call. Let's just play a portion.
Again, she's only been gone for a couple hours. She could be somewhere with one of her friends or Again, it is only a couple hours since you hadn't seen her, correct? Or since her friend supposedly hadn't seen her?
Correct. Let's say about 34 hours now.
Are you looking to file a missing persons report then?
I just want to know, is it possible they can look at the camera?
So, if Miss Teresa clearly admitted that you was at the hotel at Tucson with a phone in your hand showing pictures of Kenneka, and that's when Irene said, that's when I last saw her at Tucson. And you mean tell me Miss Teresa placed herself at the hotel at Tucson and Irene said, I last saw her at Tucson? So, if you last saw her at Tucson and all this going down, because you know what happened at 1 o'clock, like Scrape Drop said, yeah, did it happen at Tucson or 1:30 or 1:50? So, when they was going down, so you knew the best friend played the video. That's why you were eager to say, can you watch the, can they check the camera, see she walk? Because she already knew that's what the best friend was going to do. She probably want to see how it's going to look. You know what I'm saying? Let me just see how she was looking when she was playing the role. Because, you know, when you go back to Tay Sunday video, when she said one some, that when the police was in the lobby talking about they shooting a movie at one some. So if they were shooting a movie at one some, so if they were shooting a movie at one some, right? Let's go to one some. Check this shit out. Hold up. Kenneka in the lobby at one something. When you look at Tay Sunday, when she said, yeah, you know, we had the water leak, and you know, and I told my husband go downstairs and go check it out. And this at one some, and Kenneka in the lobby at one some. Do that make sense now? Go back to Miss Teresa's story. When you look at, okay, there's Kenneka in the lobby. That's why Miss Teresa said, yeah, one of the fifth photos, yeah, they showing Kenneka in the lobby. And everybody like, well, man, when we go to 320, the lobby time skip. We never saw Kenneka. And actually, you did saw her. Then one of those magic tricks what the Freemasonic like to do. Yeah, make you you always appear in public and you could, they hiding in plain sight. You see what I'm saying? So check this out. Look how they did it. This at one song. Look why you think 54 gave you ball. This lady never questioned it or ever try to look into it. Is this Kenneka? Let's dig deep dive. She didn't have to, because she was like, look, let me throw everybody out. I'm going to just call her ball because of the hair difference. Boom. So they go back to Leonora. How was Kenneka hair when she left out the room? So that means Leonora knew how her hair was when she was in the room. But coming out the room, how was her hair? And who would be able to do her hair? Her best friend. It makes sense now. It makes sense. It makes sense. Cause check this out. I'm finna play this video with Dr. Oz. That's why Dr. Oz had to take this video down. Cause it is. Look what this footage gonna show when they talking about this shit.
The police out here and ask them to look at the cameras and see if they see cameras around in time.
Even if I did send it out, sir, it would take a little bit for us to get the camera footage for us to pass it on to the detectives division.
Okay. So what would you suggest?
Well, again, the only thing I would suggest maybe just give her a couple hours. She could have went somewhere with one of her other friends, and who knows what her friends are saying is true, you know what I mean?
What do you guys think? Are you kidding me? As a physician, as a doctor, as a dad.
You You see all their facial expression? Look at all their facial expression. Look at mammy.
As a physician, as a
Sister.
doctor, and dad, it just makes me angry, frustrated.
Cause if you watch the video, look what will be going on. Look what's finna happen at one song. So you basically seeing the setup at a Crown Plaza to lure Kenneka. I'd rather say they lure Kenneka from the DoubleTree to the Crown Plaza for this shit. See what I'm saying? Cause look how everybody coming in strapped up in hoodies. You see what I'm saying? So they had us already believing Kenneka was in the room and she was never in room 926. That's why I believe she was never in room 926. That's when the best friend probably came out, where a camera above the cameras. And they probably doing some reenactment shit like, yeah, girl, I'm finna play drunken shit. Took me in the hallway. This thing, you know, now you got a camera on it. Just say that camera on the 9th floor. That's probably why they couldn't release that footage, because they couldn't sell that shit. Because you're going to be like, wait, what the fuck is this? Look how that would go. You got the drunk ass friend coming out and shit. And you got Monique in there trying to tow her. And they just like a move to ready to be like, damn it, shit ain't going well. No, redo this. Keep coming out the goddamn room and do it like how the way I told y'all to do it. Cause Keith doesn't matter. Tay Zonday videos completely explain the police were controlling the elevators and keeping the guests from coming in the jurisdiction. So it makes sense that I gotta believe Tay Zonday video when she said they was in the lobby at one song, the police stopping them like, nah, you can't come down here, we filming the movie. So guess what they would be filming? This shit. And 54 North. Boom. Her phone will be in her hand at one song.
When this girl walked through the...
So look, check this out. Immediately when Kenneka knew, watch this, y'all, what time this would be in the lobby. This some cold shit here. If you look at the timestamp of what time this is, you will understand when Kenneka actually sent the text, I'm ready to go. Cause soon she met up with dude. That's when she knew something was wrong and text she ready to go. Kenneka got her phone in her hand at one some, bro. And guess who had the phone 30 minutes later? They claimed to be the best friend Monifa. Zaria. Hi, That's why you got a big controversy about the phone, because they're going to lead back to Azaria, the real best friend. So the police were like, we agreed that we'll say it's Monifa. Hi, and that makes sense on September the 9th, because y'all got to realize on September the 9th, in real life, I told y'all, I was like, man, look, I found this shit out on September the 9th. That's when it went viral. At 2-something in the morning. Look, that's the crazy part about it, because that's when the video would drop at 2-something in the morning. So when it dropped at 2-something in the morning, guess what Mr. Risa said? I was at the hotel with the phone, showing pictures of Kenneka. Hello? Do that make sense now? Do that make sense? Because I was like, look, it was going viral so bad. Because when it was going down on September 9th at 2-something in the morning, they gave us a impression like, man, Kenneka lost in the hotel. I couldn't get no sleep. I couldn't get no sleep, and I got to be at work in a couple of hours. So look, so in a couple of hours before I get to work, right? Because I got to be there at like 5 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I got to get ready for 4 in the morning. You see what I'm saying? That's what kept me up. So look, when her name first brought, it was Kenneka Jenkins. I mean, it was Kenneka Martin. I'm looking for Kenneka Martin, bro. They're like, yeah, Kenneka Martin. And the title read, best friend set best friend up to get raped. I never forget that title. Because it didn't say no Irene, Tag, and Monifa. None of that shit. None of that shit, bro. That what made the video interesting, cause you know what I'm saying, I'm on Facebook and I'm looking, they were like, man, look, check it out, look in the glasses. I'm like, damn, look in the glasses. So I'm like, damn, they said look in the glasses, it's a rape. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hearing nigga background talking about I'm not drunk. I am enjoying myself. So there was a video that got an audio of Kenneka in room, allegedly room 926, and she was never in that room. That could have been an old audio from a different video and put with that Irene video to make it look like that she was actually in the room at that time saying this shit. Cause they do got Kenneka in a hotel room, but we don't know what, we don't confirm, we can't confirm what room that she actually in. You see what I'm saying? So if you watch this video, hold up. Look at this. Everybody from the west side. Boom. Coming in the hotel. The police allowing this shit. This a hit. That's why you don't see security or none of this shit. All this shit was orchestrated by the best friend, because the best friend sold her soul to the Illuminati, and the Illuminati is with the Freemasonry, and they popped this shit off like this.
You're barely sitting there.
I've never heard a 911 dispatch say, oh, don't worry about it, it's fine. I've never heard that. Maybe her friends are lying. I've never heard that in my life.
Wait a couple hours.
The crazy part about it, you got the sister in the lobby. So check this out. You got the sister in the lobby. Now, you got the sister in the lobby. Look who Kenneka finna last text message to. The sister. So you got the best friend that will be with Kenneka at this time frame. So only thing they waiting on, the best friend get out of pocket and lure Kenneka to the lobby. Cause keep this in mind. That means if you got everybody dressed alike on the footage, that means Kenneka and her best friend were dressed alike that night. Ooh, I'm on the game. I'm this up, gang. Man, let's try to make this go viral, cause this need to be exposed over this girl. Everybody was dressed alike. And then with King Rob mentioning and scrape dropping, they were like, yeah, everybody supposed to dressing like, you know, this why you see everybody dressing like on the footage. So there was the throw off. Cause when the hit take place, that's why the best friend could play Kenneka walking on the lower level and Kenneka walking in the lobby at the same goddamn time. Do it make sense now? So let me close my mouth, mute my microphone, cause this is irrelevant now. That would be her sister. She built just look. She built just like this on the Dr. Oz. And check this out. They put a filter on this. She already had a purple bandana on. That's why she had a purple bandana on at the protest. Don't y'all remember when everybody go back to P's and Killers? Man, they got the same clothes on. Leonora had the same clothes on at the protest with the same bandana on. And they put a filter on this shit, bro. You see what I'm saying? So check this out. When I play these two videos together, you cannot do nothing but read between the lines of Miss Teresa, Leonora, and be like, man, y'all were covering up for the best friend. You didn't give a damn about Kenneka. You didn't give a damn. You went along with the best friend narrative because the best friend was playing Kenneka, and so y'all can be like how she was drugging and who pulled the cup and I just don't understand it. And why would her keys be with you all? You see what I'm saying? All that was made up because of the best friend playing Kenneka in the lobby. And if you really want to know the truth, shit, Kenneka was in the lobby meeting up with a nigga and she wasn't drunk and staggering. And once she met up with that nigga, not even 5 minutes, she texting her sister, she ready to go. Out of all people, she texted her sister, she ready to go. Allegedly, the sister said, no, she ain't text me at this time. I see why you would deny that. Cause guess what? Y'all want to know why you got text message from Kenneka's phone and they give you a narrative? She was texting Monifa. And then it found out that, boom, when she texted Leonora's phone, I'm ready to go, she would be with her best friend. Kenneka would be with her best friend at some point of time before she came in that lobby. Man, let's get 100 likes right now for this. Ain't this the same body bill? Ain't this the same body bill? Look at that body. Same body bill. So if you got Miss Teresa saying, I was at the hotel at Tucson with a phone showing Kenneka pictures, why would you be at a hotel showing anybody a picture? Be like, have you ever, you know what I'm talking about, seen my daughter at Tucson? And you just got the call, like, bam, you immediately showed up? You immediately showed up, Miss Teresa. That's why the police wanted your mouth shut. Cause you start cloud chasing, be like, yeah, since everybody looking at this a cover up and the Rosemont covering it up, I'ma play victim. And while she was playing victim, this is why the police wanted to shut up. Cause bitch, when you play victim, these words will come back on you and Leonora. Starting off, the sister in the lobby, and check this out. You last saw your daughter at 11 something, 11:30 leaving the house. Kenneka, they would be at the movies. He would be at the movies. And she gonna be at the movies till she showed up at Crown Plaza at 1 something. Keep this in mind. Miss Teresa, I last saw her at 11:30. So that means all y'all was at the movies. That means you last saw your daughter at the goddamn movies. You could have been at the Doubletree. Or you could have been in room 924. Hi, y'all. Appreciate the likes, gang. Appreciate the likes. So check this out. Do this interview hit different when it come to the time stamps? Starting off this at 12, going on 1 o'clock.
The absolute wrong thing to do.
And the time is ticking for her body temperature going down, down.
Freezing to death is one scenario, which we're going to get to, but whatever's going on, carjacking, kidnapping, time is not your friend here.
Exactly.
At what point did the police finally say, this is a problem, this young woman's been missing?
You heard what Dr. Oz say this? Re-listen.
What's going on, carjacking, kidnapping, time is not your friend here.
Exactly.
At what point did the police finally say, this is a problem, this young woman's been missing?
This is a problem. I mean, the police gonna be there and want some. And want some, right? Look who spoke up. Who will be there and want some?
When we went.
That's why Mitch Reese had to stop the bitch. You see this shit? And want some. You got, look. So when everybody was like, look at Leonora body behavior, when they and Mr. Reese tried to stop her, look who would be in the lobby and listen to the question and want some time frame.
This is not your friend here.
Exactly.
At what point did the police finally say, this is a problem, this young woman's been missing?
When we went, they didn't. They came to arrest us. That's how the police came.
Came to arrest you?
Yes.
To arrest you?
Yeah.
For what?
And this was like 6:30 in the evening.
That's why Mr. Reese switched it up and like, nah, this was at 6:30 in the evening, cause that's what the 911 call gonna dispute. But if you look at that 911 call, when they saying they got her sister knocking on doors looking for her sister, don't that collaborate with Franz K's story when he said at 2 something, who he bumped into at 2 something on the 9th floor? Drop it in my chat. Who he bumped into? This shit finna make a lot of sense. It's documented. Who would Franz K will bump into and made a statement with Rosemont Police Department say, hey, I went on the floors. It was 3 girls. One of them saying they were looking for her sister. How y'all look what her sister doing in the lobby? Look at this shit. This at 1 o'clock. Oh, with the same look. Ooh. Man, we need all the lights on this. Is I'm exposing this shit? If I'm exposing this shit with the timestamp, you see the sister clearly in the lobby. So when that text came out at 150 something, who dick would be small? So that means she meeting up with a nigga in the lobby herself, leaving with a nigga. And Kenneka finna be meeting up with a nigga. You see what's on her sister mind, right? Hi, y'all. Hi, y'all. Hi, y'all. Y'all know what? Let's expose this shit. Check it
Why
out.
were they arresting you?
Because Lenore now and the rest of the family member, they go upstairs. One of the kids.
This at 2 something in the morning. So look, if you listen to Franz K's story when he said he bumped into sister, if he bumped into the sister, they were looking for Kenneka, and Mitch Reese stated that I was at the hotel too with the camera and showing pictures of Kenneka in the phone, asking anybody have they seen her. All this going on at Tucson. So don't this fabricate when Franz Cave said, Tucson, I bumped into sister. The court paper said, yeah, Mitch Reese was notified. He contacted security at 2:30. Then you got I last saw the girl at Tucson. So if you got all this at Tucson, guess what they gonna last see Kenneka at? At Tucson. Hi y'all, and check this out. That's why Miss Teresa look like a box of rocks right now to me. That's why I always clown the Miss Teresa, because I'm like, wait a minute. I want to be grieving for you if you really was a mother and you had a daughter was killed. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know who did it, but you know she was last seen with her best friend. And you want Dr. R protecting this best friend and got everybody thinking this Monique to get the real best friend off, cause y'all were there too. So y'all were whispering in the best friend ear behind Kenneka back. When Kenneka around, guess what they were talking about? Setting her ass up. You see this shit? That's why I never gave up. Cause I was like, I can relate to this. Cause if you got family members, cause everybody don't get along with their family members. You see what I'm saying? Think about this, y'all. We black people. Everybody don't get along with family members. You might have a cousin, two brothers might be into it. You know what I'm saying? You might have brother and sister into it, or sister into it, or the mother like this daughter, favor this daughter this much, or favor this child this much, and you know what I'm saying? But you look at it like this here, they went too far. Kenneka was the only one want to be a nurse and have some kind of a career with her life. The rest of these hoes want to be hoes, going on trips and vacations and shaking ass in the clubs. You see what I'm saying? So that means if Kenneka best friend was a part of these lifestyle, was like, look, I like your potential and I see you loyalty, right? Boom. Cause we already in the Modern Family. Keep this in mind. If you did your research on the Modern Family, you will know where the drugs coming from. That's the cold part about it. When you think of Kenneka Jenkins case, you think about a girl that's in the freezer. But when I think about the Kenneka Jenkins case, I done found the hub of missing person, drug trafficking, and all this shit tied back to the government, presidents, and all that. Might sound crazy, but if you keep watching this video, you'll basically understand. You'll basically understand this shit. You see what I'm saying? So... Again, let me close my mouth, y'all, because I like to talk too much, because you got to look at it like this here. When I be doing research, I forgot. When I be doing my research, and I'm like, damn, look at all the information that I found out. So when I go live and try to explain the information, I forget that I'm like, damn, man, these people don't even, I didn't even brief these people to be like, damn, look what I found. Let me brief you first so you will understand what I'm about to say here and expose the case. You see what I'm saying? Because if I didn't brief and try to expose it, you'll never put this together. Never put this together. But if I brief the people, be like, oh man, look, everything that came out her mouth, now you see why she got 5 more other videos. And guess what time she said she had these videos? They said 240. They said 250. Whoa! Y'all remember that? She was on live news and said, tell me if y'all heard her say, yeah, we got video. They said 240. They said 250. Tell me up if y'all heard Liver Nora. This big. She on breaking news. Facebook. We have 5 more other videos. My sister was there. She standing there. Tell me up if y'all heard her say, I got videos at 1:30. At 2:30. 2:40. Guess why she would have videos at 2:40, 2:30? Because it wasn't actually at 2:30. It would actually be 1:30, 1:40. They would lead back to the text message on her phone. I'm ready to go. Do that make sense now? Hi, y'all. Do that make sense now? Yeah. See this shit? Do that make sense now? Hi, y'all. That's where you finna get the Irene live video. Cause look, what they would be doing actually at 2:30, 2:40, but really 1:30. Before Kenneka entered the lobby, you see the setup. Starting out with the best friend, linking back to the sister and the mom involved. Talking about, yeah, when y'all get through doing, look at a mammy. Like, yeah, when y'all get through doing what y'all doing, give me the call. So I got the call at 4:34. They will be at 2 something. If I really want to be spunking with this Kenneka Jenkins case, shit, bitch, I'd say that was all at one song. And you at the hotel with pictures and shit while the best friend looking for Kenneka in the lobby hallway, and you got the best friend playing her, but the real Kenneka getting murdered somewhere else at the crime scene. Pie y'all. I see why. You just place yourself there at 1 o'clock then. Since I want to be smart and spunky with this shit, right? So that means everything when you said it was at 2 some, I'ma knock another hour off that motherfucker. That means they go back to 1 some. So if they go back to 1 some, B, what you talking about?
Pull this fire drill. Figuring by them pulling the fire drill, everybody will run out.
Okay, goddamn. Then so that explain why the police was like, yeah, we searched our stairwells and everything and the fire exit. You know what I'm saying? That all makes sense to me now when you working with the police. So all of this to make a long story short, y'all set that girl up and y'all on footage setting her up. And y'all got the girl coming in the lobby at 1 some setting her up. That's why you got to have, I got 5 more other videos. Yeah, then I get the call right after you got the video, living on. I get the call right after you and say, yeah, she missing. And you know what I'm saying? And everybody in here playing down. And the public going for this shit, conspiracy theory. They going for this shit. Mm-hmm. So basically, if you listen to Miss Teresa's narrative and you see the footage, look how this shit sound like that.
They didn't, and they was knocking on doors and all them had their phones, and it was like, with Kenneka picture asking them, did y'all see her? Did y'all see her? Because we figuring she's got to be in this hotel somewhere.
So the police came because you were going through the whole...
They came to arrest us. We K-9s.
They go back to what 54 was saying. I mean, not 54, but Kilo Brown. Why Kilo Brown was like the police up there? It's all hyping now. And then look, they said they come up there and arrest both of them. Check this out. It's a cold game the elites can play. Be like, look, lure Kenneka in the lobby. Okay, Kenneka meeting up in the lobby. Boom. Then they got the best friend getting off on the elevator playing Kenneka. And while they playing Kenneka, you got the family members running to everybody doors and shit. Have y'all seen my baby? Have y'all seen my baby? They're just like you trying to get a head count. Everybody still in their room. Look, have you seen my dog? And you got a person acting like Kenneka on the lower level and a real Kenneka getting murdered. So they'll be discretion and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Boy, that's some cold shit. Boy, that's some cold. Boy, that's some cold setup there. That just let me know, man, the setup went to a real to the elites, bro. You got Mitch reaching in with the phone. Everybody gonna be checking. Man, y'all, this lady said, I got a phone in my hand and I'm showing pictures of Kenneka. Have y'all seen her? And Leonora saying the same fucking thing. All this go back to the same time stamp. So Mitch Teresa put herself at the crime scene and Leonora put herself at the crime scene. I'd be looking like that too. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. I look at it like this. You wanna know why Nancy Case was like, fuck it? You bitches dumb. Man, look, we professionals over here. You squirrels. You goddamn it on the fucking footage. You both stick to the fucking narrative, but the timestamp gave you away, bitch. Come on, man. 155 people in here. Let's get 130 likes right now. And I'm finna play the video. Check this out. Do this make sense, y'all? Right now. What time this will be? You see what time this will be? Look. Look how cold the setup is. Look. Milo with Lyra Laura. Oh, shit. In the beginning, I used to be like, man, why those girls, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Then you got security. Watch this. Look at security, red jacket. Boom. Boy, look how they all went to the front there. Bye, y'all. Then look at the movement. Bam. Look what time this will be going on with Leonora in the lobby with who? Ooh, shake that thing, boo. Look at you and look at this sucker coming in. Look at this sucker coming in. Cause keep this in mind, the police got this shit on lockdown. It would never happen if the police was involved. Cause no murder don't happen in a hotel if this shit showing in broad daylight. Sacrificing me. Look. Who do you see? Come on, Nancy Gray. You see this shit? Look, I see why Nancy Gray. Oh, look at her. Watch this. Look where they all finna go. Y'all remember this girl right here? Man, y'all, this a girl that was standing to Monique for when Kenneka was like, what is this? When she took a drink. Look who this is. Clearly, why would, man, this shit so goddamn crazy. You got Tanasia sitting there, her brother lap, which is T.Y., and everybody was like, damn, this is girlfriend. And they were like, damn, this is girlfriend. They were like, nah, this is sister. But why is sister sitting in his lap? And she clearly there with a dyke bitch. So she clearly there with a dyke bitch. Clearly this bitch gay. You see what I'm saying? This, you got Eugenia Walker right here. Uh-oh. Man, you got Eugenia Walker, and she died that night too. And they said the wreck supposed to be happening at 2 in the morning. Think about damn. They got rid of Kenneka and Eugenia. What the fuck? How all these people die? Look, watch this shit.
So did they arrest you?
No, they asked me what was going on. They have no clue that a young girl even came up missing.
This is 20 hours later, they still didn't.
He said 20 hours later, and this is confirmed. If they was at that hotel when the lawyer said this, the family was notified minutes when Kenneka came up missing. So when we know the minutes, think about one song when you see balls in the lobby. But look, before Ball was in the lobby, you got them folks saying, yeah, they were threatening to lock us up, and they were threatening to do this, and they were threatening to do this. Then you got Sue saying this shit.
The mother called.
Cool, and the manager was acting clueless. They said they didn't need to see her entering the hotel.
How did they find her?
And all this at 2 something in the morning. Between the hours of 2 and 1 something in the morning. Because guess what? They don't want to touch on the hours at 3 o'clock. Because guess what 3 o'clock was showed? Somebody in the freezer placing her in the freezer. So say, yeah, you last saw her at 2 something and the police were asking you and threatening to lock you up. At this time at 2 something. They got this shit documented at 2 something in the morning. So Miss Teresa put herself at the crime scene. She put herself at the crime scene. The Rosemont put themselves at the crime scene. And everybody else put themselves at the crime scene. At 2 something in the morning.
The body. Who found that she was dead?
Well, the detectives told me that they found her, but when I heard it on the news and read the newspaper, I heard an employee found her. But if you would have saw her in that state, the first thing would have came to my mind, something happened to her.
Like someone did something to her?
Yes, like someone did something to her. Now, they tell us they didn't see nothing, no foul play, no faulty play or whatever.
Are you angry that you were ignored?
Yes, I'm one. Yes, I'm angry. I'm hurt.
Look at the setup on the footage.
All right, up next we have even more questions.
Look, this is on the footage. Look who she meeting up with.
The shocking autopsy details, they stopped me dead in my tracks. Stay with us. Kenneka Jenkins was found frozen to death in a hotel's walk-in freezer. But her autopsy report shows there were other things in play. We're joined now by the family's attorney, Larry Rogers Jr. So Larry, the autopsy report shows there's a substance in Kenneka's blood called...
That's why you had the lawyer to pop out. Cause look how they answered the question all wrong. Now you need the lawyer. Now you see why they need the lawyer. Look. Boom, you see, check this out. If you look on the footage, watch how the communication is strong. Watch how the red jacket, when the red jacket put, watch how everybody get up. Watch this. Look. Watch this. Look. They gets up. Boom. Look who they finna go. Oh, you see this shit? Hey, y'all. Look. Oh, yeah, get ready. Kenneka finna be on her way. She finna be contacting her sister. She know her sister she finna know her whole sister location. And bam, guess what time this shit finna happen? Yeah. Is we on the same track, gang? If we on the same track, let this motherfucker roll here. Watch this.
This is an anti-seizure medication. Why is this of interest to you?
It's of interest to me because there's no evidence that she was ever prescribed the medication. Granted, she's a 19-year-old, but her mother knows her well. You can tell from the way she responded to the initial reports.
That's why they had an argument about what was in Kenneka's system. They were like, has she ever prescribed this prescription drug? And they were like, no. Because they had to stage all that shit. If she never had those drugs in her system, then look, then look, boom, this would make sense. Look at this shit.
Her daughter was missing.
It's bizarre. It caught me as well because this is a drug you'd have to be prescribed. So how do you get all of this? So I looked into it a little bit. And just to be clear, Kenneka's blood level, her blood alcohol level, was 0.112. Let me show you this video again of her stumbling through the hall. Some of you probably have had a little too much alcohol. .112 does not do this to you.
No,
That's
don't.
not what .112 alcohol looks like. If topiramate was mixed with alcohol, but chances because topiramate.
Cause I was drunk a lot. I mean, I was tumbling, but not like that.
You can blur your vision, you can pass out. Lots of things can happen. Folks will never know. You're never supposed to put them together. So we also found it can be used off-label for weight loss. Your daughter looked very trim. Did she ever take weight loss?
No.
Pills like this?
No, she was trying to gain weight, if anything.
All right, so I'm trying to search. Then I thought, well, is it one of those party drugs? Could it be a date rape drug? And I have to say that there's no evidence that it's used this way, but we can't speculate about why topiramate was in her system. We don't know. She willingly, was it passed to her? Was it slipped into her drink? It's completely unknown to us, but this should never have been in your daughter's body.
Yes.
And it warrants investigation. You can't ignore a finding like the pyramid in her system.
Do you think someone slipped this little itty-bitty pill to your daughter?
Yes. My daughter don't like taking pills.
That would really get me upset.
Yes.
Someone drugged my child.
Yes.
And then killed her, but that led
Cause the girl in the bathroom told me, let's flip this in that girl drink. Let's get us to that girl that was over there.
Point about the way she's staggering.
The friends need to be questioned.
How does she stagger through the hallways and that go unrecognized by staff at the Crown Plaza Hotel?
So we went out and got in touch with the Rosemont Police Department. They stated that they have closed Kenneka's case. They said they just closed it because they did not find any signs of foul play. So then we asked about the surveillance camera.
Chicago about to be turned inside out.
Yes. Theoretically would have seen her walking in or someone dragging her in.
Yes.
Right, whatever needed, because that's a big question. How do you get a big heavy door open?
Yes.
Right? And here's the thing. I wasn't there, but they were. They said there is
the lobby. I started to call her Bawbaws because of her hairstyle. You know, y'all know how I feel about that. It ain't for everybody. But she comes in, she started talking to the guy that we know to be Trevante Howard, and then him and her leave out. Now, don't forget in that article, it said that at 3:20, she was seen on surveillance staggering, drunk, near the front desk. She ain't look like she was staggering to me. I mean, she walked in, started talking to dude, and left. But this is what they put out there. And so for a very long time, you know, we all went back and forth on whether or not this was Kenneka. And two of the things that had me kind of on the fence about it was the fact that the hair was different. And if you notice, Bawbaws looked like she had on maybe some boots, like some Timbs or something, some wheat Timbs. And we know that Kenneka came in the hotel wearing some Jordans, the Wolf Grays to be exact. So those were the two things that stood out, her hair and her shoes. So let's talk about it. We still riding. Now, assuming that that was Kenneka that we saw at 3:20, come in and talk to Trevante, I want to look at the timeline that Crown Plaza gave us. And I want to start with this right here, because this was one of the weirdest things on that footage that I still to this day scratch my head about, because I was like, what the hell was that all about? And that's when Eugenia Walker and those two other girls come in, meet up with Trevante. It looks like they get on the elevator, they get off on that lower level at 105, and then they make their way back up to the lobby, and then you see them go down the food court hall, and then next thing you know, they're coming back up through the meeting hall. I think that was West Meeting.
So I just want everybody to clearly see this, that's why 54 got content about Bawbaws. She knew they were Kenneka the whole time. And the public, when they released the video, the public was like, that's Kenneka in the lobby. You know what I'm saying? Me know what it do. But since she know how to break it down and tell a lie, man, this lady done gained, goddammit, shit, over goddammit, almost 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers off a lie. Now you see why Jenny McGill was like, look, the people with the luggage. If you think about this, check this out. Ooh-wee. Once you go back to Zach TV when he said the people with the luggage, all this shit finna make sense. Right here, watch this. Check it out.
What's up? It's 4 people. Y'all talk y'all shit. Say y'all name. Talk to me. When it.
Watch how this finna make sense.
Okay. You I ain't gonna lie. You fucking scaring me. I ain't scared of shit, but you scaring me.
So the whole time they knew there was Kenneka in the lobby meeting up with dude. That's why she mentioned the luggage. You see this shit, gang? That's why she mentioned the luggage, them people with the lobby. And think about Tay Zonday. When Tay Zonday said, yeah, we had a noise leak and the toilet the water runs and we had this was all going around one song. You will be going around one some. Now you see why Zach nervous. Cause he knew there was Kenneka meeting up with who? In the fucking lobby.
But I'm saying Zach is deeper than what we think it is. And they want us to step back. That's why the police, the FBI, and none of them have stepped in. Because they're connected. And when you have money...
Did y'all see Fresh K just walked off the footage? This at 113. Keep this in mind at 113. Guess what they gave you at 113? Watch this shit, bruh. This the coldest game ever. 113. Gotta go to goddamn food court hall. Whoa. They gave you this at 113. This at 113? Nope. This at 113? Look at this at 113. Watch this shit. Look. That's why they always mention the lady came in. Y'all remember when that lady came in, the YouTuber that's on the footage said, yeah, they was in the pool area because he got a floating device around his neck. So why would they mention the pool area around by this time? Because they finna go down in the pool area in the next couple of minutes or two. Hi, y'all. So watch this shit.
You can do anything you want to do.
So what you gotta, hey, listen, for somebody that's saying, oh, this is some bullshit, this isn't real, what do you got to say to people that don't believe this is true?
Oh, I would just say open your eyes and stay prayerful. I'm serious. Open your eyes and stay prayerful. Watch over your children, your family members. Watch over them.
Okay, so you saying do not. So I should never talk about the case again. Don't
Don't even go into it because they're watching you. You have an account. You have an account that they're watching you.
Okay. And once it,
like I said, if you look into Joel Comer, you'll stop.
Okay. So okay, I'm gonna fall back from the case, ma'am. You know, I haven't been posting anything on Facebook because for some reason I'm blocked from Facebook. So
They're blocking everybody. They blocked me.
Oh, hold up, you're blocked.
They've been blocking me for comments.
Wow.
That's why I said. And every time I put something in, I'm getting a threat.
What?
I need to.
That's the reason why they had to block everybody on Facebook. Look, you meet up with Kenneka, all y'all friends on Facebook, and the police were like, look, we need to deactivate y'all account because y'all friends with everybody that's had a part of the setup. Now look, if you got Kenneka at what time? 1:16. Think about the text said 4 minutes later, I'm ready to go. That means 4 minutes later, Kenneka was ready to go, bruh. She was ready to go. Now you see why she was ready to go. She was ready to go. So now you see why Miss Teresa had to say, I got the call at 4:34. That meaning if you got your daughter meeting up with a nigga at 1:16 and then 1:50, hold up. Look. If you go to this right here, and you got everybody here at 1:55, and you know that's Kenneka get murdered. Murder in the parking lot. And Miss Teresa gonna tell the world, show us that video. And we like, yeah, show us that video. But she'd agreed to the police, don't show that video. So we'll be forever looking at this shit, wondering what's on the other side of the goddamn footage. You see what I'm saying? So this was Zach knew. This what Gina McGill knew. This shit.
Shut up. I'm getting a threat. Well, those that are coming and telling and getting the information out there, I would say, those that are getting the information out there and getting it right, they're blocking you.
So is that why I was blocked off Facebook?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So tell me this, and you say you will not go to the cops, correct?
I'm not going.
So, okay, cause are you from Chicago?
No, I'm not.
You don't want to give out your city and state, do you?
No.
So clearly, you see why she don't want to be bothered with this case, but Josh snitching and telling Zach, like, if you look at Jenny McGill telling Zach, look, I know these people. I went to school with these people. I graduated with the elites. That's why she would reach out to Zach TV, be like, look, these the people I went to school with. And they are part of the organ harvesting. Do you know that, Zach? I'm gonna look at Zach's situation like, I didn't know that, damn, these people were actually down the organ harvesting. And these really higher up like judges, lawyers, doctors, psychiatrists, United States governments, and the general state attorney. I ain't know they were connected. Like, yeah, Zach, I'm trying to tell you, I went to school with these people, and my background can prove it. I don't want my name out there. And and check this out. Hold up. Make it so bad. Look, make it so bad, right? Y'all remember Macho Leather? When Macho Leather said this? I did. Look, y'all remember this letter? Look.
Cooler. Usually it's
Hold on. I need a big view.
Actors, we can make you believe we know what we're doing, when in fact, we do not. Whoops.
On her. What if you not the macho owl? I 1 hour. If they say 2:30, go back to 1:30. Don't this sound like this would fit this narrative? You see what time this is? Look what time this is, gang. Check it out, world. Look at this world. This at 1:53. You got Macho story. I went to the Crown Plaza in Macho. He worked the midnight shift security, maybe twice a week, and we go spark up. Look, we go to spark up. We go down to the kitchen area where it's closed, and we smoke in the coolers. That's the same camera Mr. Reese talking about. Did that camera work? I guess the camera did work then. So it was the camera right above the cooler. I mean the freezer. And Mr. Reese word. Do that make sense now? Cause look. If all this going on at 1:30, guess what time you see Kenneka coming in the lobby meeting up with dude? In the same time frame. So Kenneka text, I'm ready to go at 1:20. So look at the time frame. 15, 20 minutes later, here come this drunk chick walking in the cooler. That ain't gonna be Kenneka. They'll be the best friend. Hi y'all. Ain't that the best friend? Hold up. Hold up. Lou will be going down there one time. Best friend playing Kenneka, and so she finna go to where he talking about. 15 minutes later, drunk chick come walking in the cooler. We all stop. She look drunk and surprised, and she know Macho, meaning that she knew it's security. Check this out. While all this going on, this at 1. Mr. Reese said she got the call at 4:34, not 2 hours on. They go back to 2:34. So that's why Mr. Reese said, yeah, I want to see those cameras above that freezer. I guess they delete that camera. Boy, this shit is easy.
One motion-censored still camera inside the kitchen that points in the area of the freezer, but does not show the door of the freezer. So they couldn't actually see the door itself. Plaza Hotel itself, where Kenneka's body was found, and their spokesman stated that no video shows her entering the freezer because we never had a camera there.
Why everybody saying it sort of was a camera there?
I went to the Crown Plaza and I did a walkthrough of.
You saw who that? Look. So, when Angela Holmes said, do what I saw at 1:20.
You other activists out there for being on the front line too, and everybody out there with the protests, and everybody out there with the prayers. But the videos show the young lady in the lobby, and I watched her from the lobby walk to the elevator.
That's why he started off. I watched her from the lobby. Who's Bobo? Bobo's in the lobby. So you got Kenneka in the lobby. People said that's Bobo. Just to throw you out because the best friend is on the lower level getting off on the elevator. So is this proof that Trey ain't really exposing this shit for real life? For real, like, look.
Now, whether something, and I'm saying this because the toxicology hasn't come out yet. We know she consumed some alcohol and was a little bit impaired. But at the same time, if someone had put something in her drink, the toxicology would show.
So while he said that, they had to stay. Oh, she was drugged. And Kenneka would never had drugs in her system when the murder took place. That's why Mitchell Reese was like she needed help. She only had 1 cup and made it look like yeah, who poured Kenneka drink and supporting the theory like whoever's in that drink gonna be in trouble. You see what I'm saying? That's why Mitchell Reese was shooting that goddamn weak ass narrative out there, bruh. Everybody was grieving so hard, was like, yeah, Mitchell Reese, we here for you, but this bitch sitting up here, how did 1 cup? 1 cup is just too much for her, and that's on the 911 call. And then when you think about it, like, damn, that's why Mitchell Reese was like 1 cup was too much for her, cause she knew the best friend was gonna be playing Kenneka on the road, so they could say it was drugs in her system because you see a video of the friend bumping in the walls, and then when he get to the autopsy report, now they want you to be like, yeah, she was drugged up with this and drugged up with that and all this shit. But when I was looking at the drugs in that system, I'm like, look, y'all, the drug that is in that system is surgery drugs to get prepared for surgery and remove organs. Then the only drugs that would be in that system, and they documented that. You see what I'm saying? They documented that shit, bro. So I was like, man, look, y'all, look at all these drugs Kenneka's on. So that means if Kenneka had drugs in her system, it came from surgery and organ harvesting. Not that somebody put something in the cup. So they let you know that they knew it was organ harvesting. And they knew she gonna have drugs in her system, but the drug they're gonna be in her system is the same street drug. It's a street drug, just like fentanyl. If you know about fentanyl, fentanyl is a medical drug, and you got fentanyl that's a street drug. It's the same drug, but it's just a fentanyl manipulated, you know what I'm saying? Just say you got the real drug fentanyl, you can clone that fentanyl and to make it to a street drug and get high. You can smoke it, snort it, or pop it, whatever you know what I'm talking about. But in surgery, you got to ingest it, then you got to be on the goddamn a drip bag, you know, like an IV bag, you know what I'm saying? And you see, come on, gang, y'all see that shit? So if you looking at the story, this why everybody said Andrew Holmes lying. He never saw the footage. And I always said, man, Andrew got to see the footage because he got to tell you a lie. I can't lie to you if I didn't see it. So he saw Kenneka in the lobby. This what he did. He saw Kenneka in the lobby meeting up with a dude. So what they man said, well, look, we got her in the lobby. This is why he started off from the lobby for the look. Watch this.
Well, first and foremost, thank all of you all for joining in, and thank you other activists out there for being on the front line too, and everybody out there with the protests, and everybody out there with the prayers. But the videos show the young lady in the lobby.
in the lobby. Why he didn't say the back of the parking lot? Cause that's what the video showed that when they lied to Kenneka riding with her friend, coming through the parking lot, going down food court hall. But he started off, she in the lobby. So that means the first time you will ever see Kenneka at Crown Plaza Hotel is in the lobby meeting up with a dude. Hi, y'all. Hi, y'all. Watch this shit.
And I watched her from the lobby walk to the elevator. Now, whether something, and I'm saying this because the toxicology hasn't come out yet. We know she consumed some alcohol and was a little bit impaired, but
and that's why Living Norm said we got 5 more other videos showing her drinking some kind of beverage out of a cup. So to cover up the orchestration theory, make it look like whoever poured something in the cup, goddamn it, the truth gonna come out, and you know what I'm saying? That's why she drunk in prayer, walking on the lower level.
at the same time, if someone had put something in her drink, the toxicology would show. So that's very important, and we're waiting for that. But she did walk into that elevator, and she was trying to possibly get back up to the ninth floor, but she might have pushed the button, or the button was always pushed already to show lower level, and the elevator went down. Okay. So she got off the elevator. I can see where she was staggering, as they said, and she got off. She went to the stairway casing. The stairway leads back upstairs. So
she was by herself throughout this.
By herself throughout this whole complete ordeal. I watched and looked for cameras everywhere. They showed me cameras everywhere. She walked to the steps. She did a little stumble trying to get up there, but she turned around and went back the other way. Now, she was still walking kind of wobbly. She did fall into the wall, and she started opening up doors. So she opened up one door. She went in, came right back out. She wasn't in there. You can tell she was looking for doors, trying.
So all Andrew Holmes did was like, look, since Kenneka was in the parking lot and the best friend playing her on the lower level, I can say she walked through door to doors and trying to find her way back out and all this old shit, you know what I'm saying? And the real murder is happening in the parking lot. And that's why Mitch Reese said, what the parking, how my daughter made it outside. When Mitch Reese said how her daughter made it outside, you just proved that she just went outside with a dude. And you look at the timestamp, and when you go back to the phone and talking about I'm ready to go, and then when Andrew Holmes popped up on the scene and when everybody got their story together, yeah, I saw her in the lobby, but we're gonna skip that part of how she made that in the parking lot. Just say she walked back and got on the elevator. This is where the best friend come up and to report the goddamn theory that she walked in the elevator. And then they just show you that friends came with lying, talking about some yeah. When the friends brought her out the room, they left her by the elevators, and these dudes grabbed her in the elevator. What? Now you know how dumb that sounded to me. Oh, Frank came. They left her by the elevators, and then and dudes in the hood and snatch her. Why y'all see Kenneka in the lobby? Me know what to do and going outside, and when I go back to read your letter, you want to say, yeah, before I go outside in the parking lot to search for Kenneka, I get a radio call telling me I come to the pool quick. You see what I'm saying? And then this is the real reason why I'm so mad, because when they gave me this content and this letter and shit, they thought, oh, Trey guy ain't looking at the video this perspective. He telling the truth. So we got to send him an elevator, be like, look, he cannot find out. This the real secret of the video. You cannot find out that's the real Kenneka in the lobby that made up with a dude. And in the parking lot, end up in the freezer. You cannot have the public to catch on to that. to keep the lie going, keep this going, Miss Teresa going, because they all know what that parking lot footage show. So French K looked real dumb and gave me the letter, and I got million views out the letter. This letter put Trey Gang on the map, and he coming to find out it was a lie to cover up the real murder, and everybody was sticking to the story. You see what I'm saying? Everybody was sticking to the same story because they thought this how dumb the people think. You know what I'm saying? These people ain't just finna look into all of this shit. They not investigating FBI agents. They don't know nothing about these lies. But look how dumb this shit sound when you actually know there was Kenneka. Made it in the parking lot. Miss Teresa, you got a lot of explaining to do because you told the world how my daughter get outside that parking lot. Man, we were trying to figure that out. How she made it outside the parking lot. According to the lobby footage, it show you how she in the parking lot. According to the investigation, we ain't gonna release that video. So they tell Miss Teresa, yeah, show that video. Knowing she agreed to not to show that video, but keep everybody believe how she made out in that parking lot. And you saw Kenneka made out in that parking lot. But you would never figure it out if you still think there was Kenneka getting off on that lower level, you know what I'm saying, and walking towards the free. That's why they had to stage that shit. You see what I'm saying? So when they was setting Kenneka up, Kenneka didn't even know, I'm finna meet up with dude right here, but she didn't know her best friend would be getting off on a lower level elevator playing her while she gonna meet with a dude. She would never be to her, and to see this shit be like, damn, that's how I died. My best friend played me on the footage, and the world thinking that was me walking in the freezer and I got murdered. That's crazy. Look, watch this shit.
The other nigga. This is what happened. She done got her best friend out to the hallway for the other nigga. Meantime, the motherfucking between time, she done ducked off in a hotel. She done ducked off in a hotel with somebody else. Meantime, in between time, she done ducked off in a hotel with the other best friend. She done ducked off with the other nigga. Once she done probably got busted down for all we know by the ice machine or the vending machine. You know how hotels have little ducts and cuts, stairways, anything. She about left her best friend with that dude just to go get her satisfaction off with the other nigga off somewhere in the stairway or anything.
So that means the best friend will be in the room with the niggas and Kenneka will be lured to the lobby. Ooh. So everybody know the setup. That's why she was the perfect one to break this shit down. Be like, look, let me break it down like this here. I'm finna really have everybody thinking Monifa got something to do with this shit and all of this old shit. Look.
And she came back looking for her best friend like, damn, where the fuck they go? Where the fuck they go? So now she looking for her best friend. She can't find her best friend. Meantime, between time, dude who she done ran off this fuck, he's done. He done dipped off. So now while she's around this hotel looking for her motherfucking friend, she can't find her friend because the nigga she left her motherfucking friend with done went and fucked your friend and your friend was somewhere fighting back. And this nigga probably done accidentally choked that baby out and done choked that little girl to death. Fuck that little baby.
And I bet you this happened right before. I bet you this happened right after when Kenneka texts on the phone, I'm ready to go. And check this out. There was at 120. So you get no response on the phone to damn near 30 minutes later. And she say this,
got his rocks off and didn't know what to do with that little girl and drugged that little girl. She ain't give no keys or none of that. They already said the freezer was unoccupied. That's what they already done said. That little girl was off duty, so she didn't have no keys to the hotel. She didn't have access to the things that y'all are trying to say she had access to. That little nigga went off while they was off doing their thing. He went off and did what he did with that little girl, and that girl probably was like, you don't want some fighting back shit. He about choked her out and took her shit and ended up choking that little baby to death and ended up didn't know, got nervous, drugged that little girl off somewhere, probably synced that motherfucking refrigerator that was unoccupied, put her in there, and then turned it on, you feel me? So that she wouldn't stink or make a smell or something. Come on now, that little nigga turned on the fucking freezer that wasn't turned on for how long? Come on now. So while you running around here looking for your friend, this nigga done hurry up and put your friend in the freezer, my nigga, and done call this homie, and you not knowing because the homie.
So look, do this make sense? In the beginning, they said the best friend had hotel connection. Ain't this funny that, look, ain't this funny that the best friend really got the hotel connection? Because when she go out, she always at hotel parties, cruises and all this shit. She got the plug on this shit. So don't it make sense now? When she was like, yeah, the girl didn't have duties at the hotel, and we know we come to find out the best friend worked at the hotel, and when they show pictures, they show Irene working at the hotel, so everybody like, Irene work at the hotel, look. Can't show no picture of Monique working at the hotel, because this bitch is a teenager. You gotta be 18 to work at the, you know what I'm saying, at a hotel and all this old shit, right? That's why they had to show you pictures of them working at McDonald's, you know what I'm saying, job they had. Not at no hotel, because they want over the age yet. Have y'all know that Kenneka was 19? Guess how old her best friend was at the time? Mm-hmm. So look. Everything what she said, she met up with a dude. She go outside, she finna end up in the freezer. Tay Zonday said, yeah, look at the luggage and all of this old shit. Then you got Zach TV, Jen McGill playing dumb.
Okay.
If they want to trace you, they're gonna trace you, regardless. They're gonna trace you.
Wow. Okay.
I don't have any accounts. I don't have Facebook. I don't have any of those Twitters. None of that stuff. None of that.
Okay. Wow. So you basically saying this is deeper than what we know, and we should all fall back.
Step back.
Step back. Don't talk about it no more.
Don't do it.
Okay. I don't know. At first, I thought this was some bullshit. Like, who the fuck is calling my phone? This is my business phone too, and I'm like, who calling? And then you saying a lot of shit that kind of, like, you know what I'm saying, is kind of shaking me up. Like, step back.
That's why Zach said what he said. You don't want me talking about it? She was like, nah, leave it alone. Guess what? That's working Miss Teresa's favor. Leave it alone. So that means when Zach was talking about, I got the Irene video and all of this old shit. Now you see the whole purpose of this video was that one song.
As we seen our friends missing, man. His reaction wasn't like a regular reaction that somebody.
So when you think about Miss Teresa, when she was talking about, I had a picture. And I was at that hotel, and she placed herself there at 2-something in the morning. Look what they said, what they were doing at 2-something in the morning.
Works at a hotel. If you behind the front desk of a hotel, a big hotel like that, you would think that they would be more concerned. You would think that they gonna call the police. You don't think that they gonna give a helping hand, reaching out to us. It wasn't too much like a concern for him. He really kind of walked. He brushed us off and he walked off. He went back behind him. He walked off, leaving his desk unattended. Actually,
And this at the same time, Mitch Teresa talking about, I got a picture in my phone. Have y'all seen my daughter? Then you got security talking about, I bumped into Susus looking for their sister. Then you got P and them talking about, yeah, we were knocking on door to door. You know what I'm saying? Knocking on door to door. Now I see why King Rob was like, yeah, he still got blood on his jeans. You see what I'm saying? That's why he said, yeah, it's like Texas Chainsaw. The mama was in it, the cops, the aunt, they was all in it. And I said, why would he say that? Yeah, now you see why. Look.
Like it wasn't really, you know?
Like it ain't that.
Yeah, like it ain't that.
Fuck, like he don't give a fuck. Like he don't give no fuck. Did y'all feel discriminated against at any given moment in time? Like, man, is they being racist?
Any moment in time, man. I felt disrespected from the moment we told him, hey, XY, you give me ABC. He said XYZ. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Man, type of response I respected. Yeah, I ain't expect that. You know, I ain't expect that type of response. I expected you to, you know, give him the phone, do.
And look, now y'all see Man in the lobby. Check this out. Watch this. That's why Man stuck out in the case. What time y'all see Kenneka leave out the lobby with dude and you got Man showing up? And guess what Man heading towards the freezer? Just like the best friend heading towards the freezer, like Kenneka heading towards that same direction. So they had this all orchestrated. We need you to play the role of her walking to the freezer, cause that's what she gonna end up in, and we're gonna murder her in that freezer. So we need the best friend to play the biggest role out of this whole setup. She played a bigger role than the man. You know what I'm saying? That's why the man was like, well, look, I ain't got nothing to do with this shit. I just got the call at 4:34. I was in the bed sleep. I just had breast surgery and getting all sympathy and shit. I'm like, oh, you just had surgery, bitch. I'm glad you mentioned surgery around about the time you got the call at 4:34 and we see Ashley, your daughter, come up missing around 1 something, but you said, come on, man. Real talk. Then you got these, that's why Mitchell said, I believe everything what these kids said.
So at least show us. Act like
show some proof. Act like you kept.
It wasn't like that.
Okay. That shit just don't seem right. So when y'all start looking for it, y'all realize, damn, she nowhere in this motherfucker. What else came to mind?
Nah, we thought she was a nigga, Joe. Yeah.
Oh, you thought she was with another nigga? Look what's going on in the footage. Watch this. Y'all see what's on the footage? Look. Oh, you thought she left with another nigga? Really? Hold up. Let's keep rewinding it. So look, when everybody say, they wasn't lying.
Oh, okay, be real, bro.
We trying to go for the best. We not thinking of
what you mean. At what point in time, like was you trying at the point in time was we walking around the hotel acting?
See that? Yeah. You said you thought she left with another nigga because you knew that was the game plan. Look.
Any moment in time, man. I felt disrespected from the moment we told him, hey, XY, you give me ABC. He said XYZ. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Man, type of response I respected. Yeah, I ain't expect that. You know, I ain't expect that type of response. I expected you to, you know, give him the phone, do something. At least show us. Act like
show some proof. Act like you kept.
That's why they said she left with a dude. Cause y'all got to remember when Zach got this interview a week after the death. Her in the freezer, right? A week after that. That's why they said, yeah, last Friday. So Kenneka was found in the freezer that Sunday. The next week, he had the interview on the Friday, which they will be September the 14th. And the September 14th, now you see why they say, I thought she left with a dude. Because that's what the footage gonna show. She left with a dude, bruh. She left with a dude. The video clearly shows she left with a dude, and that's why he said this.
Respect it. Yeah, I ain't expect that. You know, I ain't expect that type of response. I expected you to, you know, Give him the phone. Do something. At least show us. Act like
show some proof. Act like you care.
It wasn't like that.
Okay. That shit just don't seem right. So
that's why it won't sound right. But if you go to this shit, if they left with a dude, and this is what they know in the beginning, because we didn't know this, we are not a part of the Illuminati and setups and do all this shit that Chicago on, so we won't know nothing about this shit till this shit expose itself. So that's why she said this shit.
He done split up from you. He done called his homie like, hey, nigga, where you at, nigga? What up, nigga, where you at? He like, oh, nigga, where you at? You and Shorty done? He about telling his homie like, yeah, we done. Where you? Meet me at the door. They done met up at the car now.
They done met up at the door and they done met up at the car, and I wanna know where this gonna be at. You see this shit? They done met up at the door. They done look. Don't this fit the time frame? She met up with a dude. You go to her phone. Let me be a thought and peas. And the dick look little. And then you got her saying this shit.
You come back and return to the hotel room. Now, shut up. No, shut up.
Don't leave
no.
there.
No. Fuck all that, because this is the truth. Now, it's hypey. So while she looking for her friend, it's already turned the fuck up at the hotel.
So the best friend set the friend up to get raped, and they used Monifa to roam the hall to make it look like that she was looking for her best friend. Cold game, Jack. Cold game. Look at this shit.
It's turned up. Now the police done came. So the police thinking it's a party because it's a bunch of kids in the midst of commotion. She done run back to the hotel room now. Police there and all types of shit now. She come back in the hotel room. Y'all come on. It's time to go. Now everybody's scattering, getting up. Now the girl makes a status. She's like.
And check this out. Watch how this finna sound. Since Miss Teresa said she got the call at 4:34, what time Irene claiming to leave the hotel? Drop it in my chat right now. Boy, this shit finna get very interesting. What time Irene said, yeah, I last saw her at 2 but you left the hotel at what time? Guess what time Irene said she left the hotel? Boy, that's finna expose Miss Teresa. You see what I'm saying? If Irene said, man, we left the whole. Oh no, man, hi y'all. There go Uncle Fed. So check this out. Uncle Fed, dig that. If Miss Teresa got the call at 4:34, then you got Irene talking about, well, we left the hotel around about 4 in the morning. Cause she came up missing around 2 something. But around 4 something, that's when we actually left the hotel. But at 4 something is actually 2 something, because that's when Miss Teresa will get the call at 2 something, and Irene will be leaving the hotel at 2 something. Hi, so when you listen to Irene's story at 4 something, listen to Miss Teresa's story. Why would you say you get the call at 4:34 and tell me they can't find Kenneka, but Irene saying we left the hotel around 4 in the morning? Hi, y'all. So if you knock 2 hours off there and go to Tucson, now you see why everybody got something to hide at Tucson. Cause this at 1:56, shit, we got a goddamn another 30 minutes to go. You see what I'm saying? Look, that's why she talking like this.
You don't give a fuck about your best. She was like, shut up, because when I told y'all to help me look for her, wasn't nobody trying to help me look for her. So meantime, in between time, y'all, this is at 3 something in the morning.
3 something is 1 something in the morning. If you look at this at 1 something in the morning, go back to Kenneka phone, go to the text, living normal statements, Miss Teresa's statement, and all the police. Ain't no more goddamn conspiracy theory. On what? What's the conspiracy theory about? How she walk in the freezer? Whether it was a murder or an accident? That's still a conspiracy now? Is that still conspiracy now? Oh man, you know, Monifa was jealous of her. What? You still thinking that now? All right, listen to this shit.
This is at 3-something in the morning, y'all. This is when the police came. And
1-something in the morning, like Tay something, they said, I got a water, my water was dripping around 1-something, so I go down to the lobby and say, hey man, my toilet leaking. And they're like, you can't come down real because we filming the movie. So that means the police will be present while they killing that girl, bruh. That means that 1-something, they were killing that girl and the police were there. Making sure it went down. Making sure it went down. Everybody's story match up at 1-something, no matter what time they call it. Well, it was at 3-something in the morning. Miss Reese, I got to call at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, let me know when you well they were bumping into the Sousa in the on the 9th floor around 2-something.
all that. This was at 3-something in the morning, the police came. So the girl was like, bitch, we didn't help you look for her because you came back on some like you was joking or shit. We didn't know to take you serious. You took your friend up out of here and you didn't come back with her. So everybody's wondering, like everybody knew what was going on. No, nobody know what's going on because all they know is that that bitch came and took her friend up out of there off that bed and ran her ass up out of there. And she...
There was a lie. This going off of the best friend. This let you know she was in a part of the setup. Cause that's why she knows so much. She knew about the setup that she knew the best friend role. The role was go along with the best friend theory. Cause the best friend finna play Kenneka drunk and they're gonna put everybody in conspiracy mode. Hi y'all. And you see Kenneka in the lobby actually meeting up with a dude. Now we know she finna get murdered at this point. We just ain't gonna see it on the video. But we know what time it is. See, they know what time it is. That's why they gave you a narrative at a particular time stamp when the murder being committed. Pay y'all. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. That's why the line was about what was going on between the hours of 1 and 2. The conspiracy thought at 3. When it come to the news, yeah, she walked in the freezer. Look, we got on video. We don't actually see her walking in the freezer, but she heading back there, and that's the best friend the whole time. Hello. You see what I'm saying? Them folk gave you a whole... Check this out. I'd rather watch a murder tape. What was going on in the parking lot instead of what the best friend reenactment.
Came and returned, like, in her mind, she like, so-and-so didn't return back to the room. They like, no, bitch, you took her out of here, bitch, where'd she go? She's like, girl, help me look for her. And they looking at her, bitch, like, what the fuck you mean, help you look for her? Girl, where the fuck is her? And you know, she over 18 now, so you know, as friends, we all thinking to ourselves, girl, where her grown ass go? Where this grown ass bitch could be? That's how our minds is thinking, because in reality, our minds don't go to.
And King Rob told everybody that was her. Right here. King Rob told everybody, said, this her right here. Look. This her. So that explain why she'll know so much.
Danger. Our minds don't go to danger instantly.
And one time.
We turning up, bitch.
In the
bitch,
morning.
where y'all bitches just leave out this room too?
So they to prove that she knew what the best friend was doing and knew what narrative to go with or the real murder, because she would be present at the murder scene. Fuck you talking about. Fuck you talking about, gang. Fuck you talking about. That's why that bitch was talking the way she was talking in the beginning. Cause she was saying all of this shit before the footage was even released. Why would you say she met her with a dude? You saw Kenneka met up with a dude. You just didn't know what the hotel was just gonna put out there. You just know what was on the footage, and you knew what the original lie was. The original lie wasn't this.
He was taking her serious at that point. So that's where everybody don't understand. That's how.
That wasn't the original lie. You see what I'm saying? They just let you know, man, that shit got out of control, bro. They didn't know what surveillance footage they were gonna release. You see what I'm saying? Maybe they was like, look, we're gonna go with Andrew Hall. Andrew Hall gonna say that she was in the lobby. So they're gonna be like, well, look, we know she met up with a nigga in the lobby now, Andrew Halls. So look, how we gonna get out the way of this parking lot murder scene? Well, shit, we got the best friend playing on the getting off on the elevator. That's it. We'll go for that. But the public ain't gonna go for that because they're gonna know that's not Kenneka. But if you keep running your mouth, bitch, you'll have everybody thinking, no, I'm talking about. Look, check this out.
It all went the fuck down. So now everybody done came. Yeah. So why they want to make it seem like she drugged out the room and she just disappeared? No, that bitch drugged her friend out the room for that nigga's satisfaction and then for her satisfaction. And when her and that nigga split up and when she came, she thought that they were gonna do what they do and they all was gonna beat back up and her friend was gonna walk back up in that room together. But in reality, that nigga done went and did some dirty shit. And when she came back to link back with her friend, she didn't know where that friend was or that nigga went. And by that time, she done left this nigga because now she wondering where her friend went. And now this nigga done went and met his homie in the lot and they gone. Now the police done pulled up because there's so many people. By this time, there's so many because everybody's like, oh, well, what?
This bitch talking so bad. When she was talking like this, everybody was like, girl, spill that tea. And the whole time, she talking about this timestamp on the fucking footage. On the footage that nobody ain't seen none of this shit. Bro. You see what I'm saying? Now I see why they said this is reenactment. Look at it like this here. Everybody met up at the Crown Plaza and was drinking, smoking, while Kenneka was at the movie theaters and possibly was at the Doubletree. They lured the girl to the Crown Plaza. At one summer, that's when the murder happened. At one summer, what you see right here. It is in mind. According to Mr. Reason, I got the call at 4:34. Well, 4:34 finna be at 2:34. This at 1:56. So you finna get the call in the next 30 minutes. Next 30 minutes. So when you get the call at the first 30 minutes, and she on Dr. Oz talking about hold on. Dr. Oz. When she talking about, yeah, I got the call at 4:34 when I was at the hotel, showing pictures in the phone. Y'all seen Kenneka? You see what I'm saying? And all of this shit fit in the same time stamp. So now you got a motive. That's why they lying. Cause look at the narrative they give us at a time of murder being committed. Sound like an alibi now. I got to call at 4:34 because you knew the time gonna be out 2 hours on the footage, so you knew what the hotel was gonna release. It was up to y'all to keep the narrative going.
Trying to get back upstairs to the lobby.
See that?
So she went from door to door. She went in this door. She didn't stay long. She went in there and came back out. She was basically trying to find her way back to the lobby. As she continued down the path.
And she went to the bathroom and everything.
Yeah, she went.
What's some of the doors she did go in?
One of the doors she went.
That's why Andrew Holmes did what he did. If you look at the mindset, Andrew Holmes said, well, we saw the footage. Everybody saw the footage. When it come to the bouncer, they all saw the footage and they need a narrative to go along with. If you look at the police department, they looking at it like, look, we got Kenneka in the lobby. That's Kenneka in the lobby. And this in the timestamp show what time she was in the lobby. Miss Teresa, we need you to say that's your daughter on the footage. Guess what? Miss Teresa said, "That's my daughter on the footage." But on agree with this. If you agree that your daughter on the footage in the lobby, you also got to agree that your daughter on the lower level. Hi y'all. That's why Miss Teresa was like, "Yeah, that's my daughter on the footage." And I used to go live and I used to be like, "Man, look. This let you know Trey Gang was so close to this shit." Cause I was like, "Man, look, y'all. Only Miss Teresa could tell her if that's Kenneka in the lobby. Cause if that's Kenneka in the lobby, we got a bigger problem with the girl that's playing her on the lower level." Cause I was like, cause she can't be in two places at one time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Miss Teresa did. She said, "That's my daughter on the footage." And they asked her, "That's your daughter on the footage?" She was like, "Yeah." And in the fifth photo with her in the lobby. So guess what? When the truth come out, that's your daughter that was in the lobby and that was her best friend on the lower level, and you agree with that shit? And can't nobody convince you, if you ain't got nothing to do with it, can't nobody convince you of that lie. You got to go along with it, because guess what? Maybe you wasn't a part of the plan. Maybe they finna set your goddamn daughter up and make these millions off your daughter, and you peeped the setup, and you was like, "Well, look, let me just sue the goddamn hotel, because they don't keep their kitchen sanitized and up to date, so I can sue them for neglect, not for wrongful death, because this lawsuit was never about wrongful death." She basically sued these people just by stickers, faded stickers, half stickers. You know what I'm saying? The people don't hang wet flow signs when they mop. And they just use the Kenneka Jenkins on the lawsuit to make it look like it was a part of her death. But really, that's how Miss Teresa had to get her money, bro. That's why I honestly believe, because when these people reaching out to me, I believe this right now. I believe this. Miss Teresa knew everything about the setup. She knew everything. It was a part of the setup. She was down when it happened. But when she actually seen the money game, how they were trying to fuck over, just put it like this: you set your daughter up, right, for the organs. Then her best friend, since her best friend set up, she finna be a celebrity hairstylist. So now she a big celebrity hairstylist. Then, you know what I'm saying, you got all these people making their little rap songs and shit, getting a little clout, got a little money, you know, driving their little foreign cars, and you were left out. And then on the money problem, you were like, "Well, shit, this ain't enough money to me. I'm gonna sue y'all ass because you ain't got padlocks on the freezer and shit." What? And the lawyer was like, "Yeah, look," because the lawyer had to put on, "Look, the only reason we need to look, just say this was upon the construction. Never was upon the construction." Then she had to go along with the narrative, like say she was drugged and she had one too many cups. She had to agree with all that, because that was the footage finna depict Kenneka. That's why when it came to the lawyer, they said this is a footage that depicting Kenneka Jenkins in the hallway. And there was a problem. You mean depict and actually showing the real video? So mean that you had to depict the video. So now I understand why, that's what they mean by depicting the video, because the best friend was on the video playing her. You see what I'm saying? Bye, y'all. I look at it like this: Miss Teresa, the best friend, the sister, the brother, all them, gang them, set Kenneka up. Everybody got paid, but Miss Teresa want a bigger payout. That's why she went hard on the hotel, and she had to sue and settle. She never won a lawsuit. That bitch settled for the chump change. Look, don't this make sense? Look, that's why they keep going over there to the pool area. Now look, check this out. Look what time this is. 2 in the morning.
It was the men's washroom. That door pushed open. She came right back out. She pushed in, came right back out. She went inside another door. She came right back out. She was checking doors to see, to me, how she can get back upstairs. So she went down toward this unsecured area that she went, and the camera shows it, and it shows where she went. When she went in, the doors wasn't secure. She went right in. There was a freezer part there where you all.
So basically, he's just telling you what Zaria was doing on the footage. That's all. This is what Zaria will be doing round about this time.
See, well, you all haven't seen it yet, where she had walked back. There was no one in there. The place, they don't even use that part no more as a kitchen part. And it has two large freezers. So she walked back there, and then she went inside that door. She opened it up, which you can open up. It's just like a big steel door. It don't take much to open it. You open up that door, you take 1/2 a step. To your right is another door to another freezer part. She had to open up that door to go inside of there, mainly trying to find her way back to the lobby. In saying that, if she was so impaired, so we don't know what's in the toxicology, but the door closed and the other door closed, and it's dark inside of that little freezer room.
So basically, they never drug Kenneka. So they had to fabricate the autopsy to say she was drugged in the system. Look how the autopsy look. How she had one cup and all these drug prison in the system. It don't make sense. Then you say all this was to pyramid. It don't make sense. So that means you had to lie and fabricate the document because the girl was never drugged. She was actually murdered. And everybody admitted in that family, Kenneka don't drink no more. Kenneka don't pop pills. Kenneka don't do none what Gang them do. But her best friend do. You see what I'm saying? And check this out. The camera that Andrew describing, that's the camera that will show you how Kenneka actually got in the freezer, in the cooler part, when they come back to the macho story. Look. Listen to this shit.
The area, they had some 46 or so cameras there, and there were cameras that should have captured her progressing, apparently, according to them, toward this kitchen that did not capture her, and they claim they weren't working.
See that? That's why they saying, look how Boo Boo walking in. Look, this at Tucson. Watch how Boo Boo mobbing in that motherfucker. Boom, on the phone. Now this at 2 in the morning.
What happened here? This is
You know, Dr. Oz, when I think about them trying to go door to door, showing the picture.
So when you got on Kenneka's phone, when they said look like his dick little, that's a couple of minutes after when they walking in the hall. So if they walking over here toward the pool area, glimpsing and looking, what do you think that's going on with Kenneka in the pool area? At 2:06. It's at 2 o'clock. Remember y'all, they said she walked in the freezer at 3 o'clock. So that means you got a whole hour to watch this surveillance footage. Cause you know when they show her walking in the freezer like this here, you know it ain't at 3 o'clock. Right? You know it ain't at 3 o'clock, right? If they said this was at 3 o'clock, look. Guess who this would be? Azaria. Because Zaria just got off from the elevator. It would make sense if you look at the time. She got off on the elevators at 3:24 and walked on the lower level and made it up here. It would fit that she walked the directed route. So they just showed you that, boom, she got off on the elevator, walked on the lower level, bumped around in the walls, and made it upstairs to the kitchen in the 50th timestamp. And this at 1:30. This at 1:30. Look what happened 30 minutes later. This is where Kenneka would be in the pool area. That's why they would be in the pool area loafing in this direction. See, according to this footage, you'd be like, oh, they looking for her. According to the police, they looking for her, and you know what I'm saying? But according to a setup and that spawn, oh man, Kenneka in there got look. This at 2-something. She in the pool. That's why Mitchell Reese said, yeah, they was cleaning out the pool around 3 and 4 o'clock. Oh, Mitchell Reese, you said they were cleaning out the pool 3 and 4 o'clock. I see why they would be cleaning out the pool around 3 and 4 o'clock.
Then running to the next door and showing the picture as the minutes passed and her body temperature went down. Why was she told no? Why don't I see things in the autopsy like fingernail scrapings? Was there DNA under her fingernails?
That's why. No DNA. Look. They didn't take no DNA. It was nothing to take at the crime scene. No DNA. No camera footage. The time off on the footage. And Mitchell Reese went and doubled down on this shit. She doubled down, look.
Went up to try to fight it off. She's still trying to look for a way out. How could that, go unacknowledged from the security, from the hotel? Some employees that was down there in the area that she was seeing.
She even said that her story matched with Andrew Holmes. Look, and she saying the same thing what Andrew Holmes said. Look.
So she probably got scared, tried to find her way to push that door out, but it was a safety knob there that you can touch like this.
Look.
In there. How could not, no one not notice my child? And then when we came up there looking for my child, why we couldn't get no help from no one?
See that shit? So they went along with like, we're gonna agree that's Kenneka on the footage walking to the freezer. That's why it never made sense to the public. That's why the public caught on to this shit. Like, that's not Kenneka. And Kenneka ain't walking in no freezer. But you got Andrew Holmes and Mr. Reese saying the same narrative. She said her daughter need help on the footage walking toward the freezer. And Andrew Holmes said, yeah, that's her walking toward the freezer. So they both got the narrative. So guess what they got a problem with? The time. Cause Andrew Holmes said he saw this at 3:20 and Mitchell Reese, whoa, and Little Norman, whoa, 3:20 Andrew Holmes, wait a minute, shit, that's when they showing Kenneka in the lobby at 3:20. Well, we know this at 1 something, that's why we bumped the time up 2 hours. That's why Mitchell Reese said it just don't sound right. When Andrew Holmes called my phone and it just don't sound right. Now you see why it don't sound right once you know the truth. Look, what he said and she said, look how it's finna come back on them folk, bro.
We don't really have the words, to take away the pain.
They got their head down. Ain't no crying. They don't even need tissue. They got their head down. How many times when y'all were growing up and shit and you did something and your parents called you and they like, man, what the fuck? Did you reach in my cush bowl and stole a... Nope. Head down like I'm no, I don't know what you talking about, man. No. Start sniffing and crying and shit. I didn't do this. You know what I'm talking about? I remember when the neighbor snitched on me. We're like, man, you know your son cutting school coming back and bringing some thought box back to the house. And they were like, Trey Guy, do you know did you bring some holes in that mud? I hold my head down. No, I don't know what you talking about. I don't even like girls, you know what I'm talking about? Lying like a mother. I don't even like girls, you know what I'm saying? They when I said that, they knew I was lying. I like, oh, wait a minute, nigga, you a latest killer. Yeah, you one of them, you know what I'm talking about? I'm just trying to protect my little operation, like shit, goddamn it, you know what I'm talking about? But if you look, that's why they got their head down. That's why Andrew Hall look.
And that door will open. And I was in there with the detectives. I was in that freezer. And I was scared.
See, this something I just want him to just say. You had to been there too. Cause you got to look at it. Can't nobody report on this case and break it down unless you was there to tell a lie to the world. So that means you would be in the freezer there, Andrew Home.
They pushed that door out, but it was a safety knob there that you can touch like this, and that door will open. And I was in there with the detectives. I was in that freezer.
And the detectives, and that's when they took a picture of Kenneka watch laid on the back. Oh yeah, it makes sense now. It make a lot of sense now. That's why she said this about the yeah. How can you say it's a big glow in the dark button in the freezer? She just could have pressed it. Now think about this. Any human being would know if you locked in the freezer, you're gonna press that button. You're gonna do whatever to get out, beat, you know what I'm saying, or feel the walls or anything. So there ain't no reason for a person can't get out the freezer. But they're gonna make it look horrible. Like, how did she? It's a big glow in the dark freezer, girl. How my daughter didn't get outside? Never said that she was locked on the inside. Cause if it was me, I'm be like, man, look, it's a button right here, bro. Somebody had to lock my motherfucking daughter on the inside of this jump, bro. And I want to see that camera. Oh, you talking about this motherfucker don't work? Shit, they ain't finna be working no more. Cause I'm finna bomb this bitch. Man, I'm finna bomb this motherfucker, bro. I go to John Deere and get me a motherfucking bulldozer. Yeah, y'all got some bulldozers? Let me test drive that junk, cause I want to spend a couple of meals on that junk. Them folks gonna be like, yeah, hell yeah, all cash. And they be like, look, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, yeah, how you crank this hoe up? And you know, how you turn and accelerate? This all I need to know, you know what I'm saying? He think he finna get a paycheck now. We going straight to road, man. I'm finna bulldoze the shit out that motherfucker. He like, where we going? We going to road, man. I'm finna see if this shit meet all the spectacular, you know what I'm saying? I want, can you say this motherfucker could knock down a 13-story building? Hell yeah, that's what it's designed for. That's what we finna discriminate. Finna go straight to road money. He finna be nervous. Like, what the fuck, Trey Gang? No, don't do it. I'm finna ram that motherfucker. You heard me? Boom, boom. And this hoe knock this bitch down, I'ma pay for it. You know what I'm talking about? I'm pay cash. Yeah, straight like that. See, they don't want to fuck with me on this motherfucker because I'm finna light they ass up later on tonight, goddamn it. You know what I'm about? So that's what Andrew Home, he was down there at one song. Everybody got all the lies. It's all about that one song. Kenneka was in the lobby at one song, and they gave us a conspiracy theory. Now y'all ain't really see that on surveillance footage. You know what I'm talking about? And then look, if I was you, I wouldn't be talking about Monifa, Bree, and Shamaya. Don't you know they small fries? You know, check this out. I wouldn't even check this out. Monifa, Shamaya, just look at it. They want you to have their name out more than Azaria, Teresa, Leonora, the police department. Blame it on kids. Blame it. Now you will see, if you look at it like this, man, Monifa was young as hell. and they doing some grown folks ass shit, setting folks up and sacrificing shit. So these people minds gonna manipulate Monifa. Just so they could tell Monifa, yeah, come to the party. Yeah, we finna shake something. We finna set somebody up. And she'd have probably just say she probably didn't even know they finna set up Kenneka. Cause keep this in mind. Monifa and Kenneka were never best friends. You see what I'm saying? They were never best friends. So if you look at them like, damn, they use Monifa. If you look at them like, well, look, we're gonna set Kenneka up, and just say they put fear in Monifa. Yeah, we're gonna say you the best friend, and you was this and all this. We just need somebody to point the fingers at. So keep this in mind. Monifa gonna be scared, be like, damn, the world gonna look at me that I'm the best friend and I set her up and I'm the one that got niggas doing hits and setting people up and all this old shit. And then when you look at Monifa, you like, damn, Monifa just ain't just on that type of time, like. You know what I'm saying? Cause she green. You know what I'm saying? She green. She ain't even that's the last person you wanna go on a lick with you. You know what I'm saying? But I can see why they use her in a way. Oh, since she was at that hotel, I wouldn't even be surprised that Kenneka was already dead at that hotel and they had Monifa and them showed up at the hotel just for that purpose. Mm-hmm. Hi, y'all. Let's get to 200 likes and I'll be back later on tonight. Trey Gang now, y'all. Trey Gang love y'all, man. Y'all be cool. Y'all be safe. Man, y'all like and share this video, bro. Cause guess what? If they saying all this shit was at one song.
I was scared even being in that freezer, even in there with them, and I was in there by myself. I can understand.
Why would you be in the freezer in there by yourself? I see why. Like Mr. Reese.
I wish we had
Where's that camera? If you got Andrew Holmes said he was in the freezer by himself, then Mr. Reese about where that camera at? Where the footage at? You know what I'm talking about? Hi, y'all. I'm out, gang.